Let's go ahead and get started. First stack out, as you can see, is Urban Decay. Now, a lot of these palettes I've been kind of hanging around for nostalgia purposes. So, like I said, we'll just see what happens. So, first up, I have the Naked series. We have Naked 2, which Naked 2 was actually more of a cool tone palette. So, at this time, I'm like, do I want to just keep these for nostalgia? But I kind of do. But I'm kind of like, is it necessary? Because I'm definitely not using these. But I've been kind of just keeping around just to kind of reference. And they were literally like the first eyeshadow palette. Like, seriously, the Naked eyeshadow palette. So iconic. So, I guess at this particular moment, I am keeping them around for nostalgia. And then we have Naked 3 here. And the Naked 3 was definitely more rose tone. So, I don't know. Like, the quality of these definitely hasn't, like, held up compared to some of the other quality of my other eyeshadows. And then we also have Naked Smoky. I think Naked Smoky, we can let Naked Smoky go. The original 3 can definitely stay. But Naked Smoky, I think we can let her go. Okay, so we're going to declutter Naked Smoky. Put that over there. We have Electric. They were one of the first to do like these all hot like electric palettes. So we can let her go. Let's see. And then we have Born to Run. Born to Run, I kind of want to keep around in my collection. Born to Run was just a really solid palette. Just a really good palette. I don't know why they won't do more of this. But I'm going to hold on to Born to Run. I think it's just kind of nostalgia purposes. But I had a lot of good fun out of this palette. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this palette. That's what made me pick it up. And then we also have the Moon Dust palette. So the Moon Dust palette, they were like the first with these shimmer shades, as you can see right here. And, you know, I don't know why Urban Decay, like I said, they don't get back to it because they were like all topper shades, shifty shades, put them on top of bases. Really, really pretty, really innovative for the time, before all the indie brands were doing it. So, yeah. So, okay. Got rid of 2 palettes so far. Move on to the next stack. Alright, my next stack is from Sydney Gray. So I will not be decluttering any of these. So this is one of the Tatalia palettes. This one is the, let's see, it's On the Horizon. I only have one because I felt like they all looked alike. And I was really excited for all 3. And then it was like, they all look alike. But the shadows are really nice in here, really beautiful color story. So I will be keeping this. And you know for sure, I'm definitely keeping Tiny Marvels. Tiny Marvels was the collab that Mel Thompson did. Rest in peace. And mine kind of came a little beat up with this shadow and this shadow crack. But fabulous palette. Mel did such a great job on this one. And, man, we just really miss her presence here in the beauty community. So, this is Tiny Marvels. Okay, next up from Sydney Grace is the Enduring Love. So this is the Enduring Love Dark. Oh, and this is the dark. This is our deep version of this particular palette, On the Horizon. So this is the dark one or the deep one for Enduring Love. I have the older packaging where it was in the tin. I like it. Really beautiful cool tone palette. Really nice neutral palette. I've had a lot of fun with this, and I definitely need to like just crack it open. Alright, so we got Odin's Eye. So these are my palettes that I have by Odin's Eye. And first up we have the Erd palette. So it's one of those little mini palettes and really gorgeous color story, just really different, unique, and I really enjoy it. And you know, just need to play with this some more. That's going to be the story of my life when it comes to this video. Of course, we have Tina, the Fancy Face, her beautiful collab with the Hummingbird palette with Odin's Eye. One of my favorite palettes for sure. From the legendary Diversa collection. Just really stunning. So, and you have a beautiful multi-chrome right there. So I definitely will be keeping this. Next up, we have Giant Wolves. Yes, I will be keeping Giant Wolves because it's literally like one of my other favorites by them as well. So, like the lighting is killing me. It's trying to play games with me. Okay, so we have the Giant Wolves. I definitely will be keeping this little palette right here. It's so pretty. I love that collection. It was just a really good collection. We have the Hella palette. So this is also part of the Legendary Diversa collection. This is a collab with Angie. So it's like you have the grayed out version and you have the color version. Now, I like this palette, but it's not one of my favorite. And this one actually kind of released separately from the other three. I only have two of the other one. But what does it for me is just kind of like this row right down here. The rest of it is like, but this shade, maybe the peach shade, that's about it. But I'm gonna hang on to it. We have the Norns, okay, so really beautiful color story, but the shades in this one is a little bit more difficult to work with, and this palette gets super deep, so you definitely have to be careful when using it. But I'm definitely going to still keep hanging on to it because I do like this palette, and I kind of figured out how to, you know, work with these particular shimmers. Now we have our Christmas Eve palette. For sure, I'm keeping this. Just got this palette. I was like, can I get out the sleeve? So gorgeous, cool tone palette. I have to, the only reason I still have it because they tape them, you know, versus flying out. But yes, I hope they bring this back so a lot of people can like just get their hands on this palette next year for sure. And then we have the Merry Christmas palette. Ooh, look at the glimmer. So same story. I guess somehow I lost the little plastic of that cover, but I really love this palette. Such a fun, unique color story. And the shimmers and these two palettes just improved so much. All right, next up we got Break the Rules palette. So this is like my It's Belle Cosmetics little stack. So we got Break the Rules by It's Belle Cosmetics. I'm definitely keeping this. Such a beautiful quality shimmer palette. You know, 2021, 2020 was like the year for shimmer palettes, and this one was really beautiful, really affordable. I kind of take this with me traveling all the time. Next up, we have the Flare. The Flare also is just a beautiful shimmer palette. This one right here, Citrine, that is my shade, but really beautiful colors as well. Then we also have Dawn of Fall. I really enjoy this palette. And this palette definitely is grungy. It's definitely giving the fall vibe. So I'm going to keep this one as well. And then we also have Cool Summer. So this one was one of their first releases actually that has mattes in it. Now my palette, it's kind of, it took a beating in the traveling. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one, but I really enjoyed it. But it's hanging on for dear life. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. All right, that's all I got left by Too Faced. This is all I have left. And you better believe that all I smell is chocolate when I open this, okay? So this is the Chocolate Gold palette. This is a fabulous palette. I almost didn't get it, but it was like a holiday palette. I'm like, can I get it open? Looks like this, but I am ready to let her go, okay? She can go. And Jesus, all I smell is chocolate, okay? So, Too Faced, yeah, she will be leaving. And then this is the Razzle Dazzle palette. Really pretty as well. This little shade, gorgeous. But I am ready to let this go. This one, it still has a faint raspberry smell, which kind of smells like cough syrup. It always did smell like cough syrup. But the chocolate one is really pungent, but she can go over there. I think I'm done, okay? Okay, next up I have two palettes by Adept Beauty. And so we have the Tropical Vibes palette. Really gorgeous. I need to use this more for sure. I'm definitely going to keep this one. Oh my gosh, look how that looks. And then we have the Oceanic palette, and these palettes, they're actually in their older formulation. So I think with the Oceanic palette, I'm ready to let that one go. Yeah, I can do it without this one. All right, I got 3 palettes by Menagerie Cosmetics. So first up we have Sugar High, and I just really tried them this year, even though I've had one of the palettes. So this is Sugar High, and I'm going to keep this. This is a really pretty palette, and these shimmers are just beautiful. They're just standard foil shimmers, and they're beautiful. Then we also have Indigo Ink. Oh, really pretty, really unique. This is an older palette, but I picked it up this year. Or not even this year. I picked it up in 22 because we're just in January of 23. But I'm definitely going to keep this one. And then the Farrow palette. Now, I should be ashamed of myself. I have never used this palette. Never. Never used this palette. I really don't have a basket of shame, y'all. My basket of shame is probably I don't get around to certain palettes enough. But, I mean, I use a lot of my palettes a lot. One day, I'm going to use this. Yo, I've had this palette forever, and the packaging is just gorgeous. It's super heavy, really heavy quality. Like, it's not a flimsy palette. Like, if I was just you can kind of see. It's very substantial. All right, next up, we have my Glamlite collection. I don't have a lot of Glamlite. And we have, first up, we have one of the Scooby-Doo palettes. She's Going Nowhere. I love her. One of my favorites of 22. This is the Raw Raggy. Look at this. Just freaking gorgeous. Beautiful. And then we have the Companion, which is Creeps and Crawls. Gorgeous as well. Love it. The quality was amazing. The price point was amazing on this because I feel like these palettes, everything in the collection was under $20. And then I got these as a bundle for like $36. A subscriber just told me she got the bundle for like 20% off. I'm like, girl, that was a win. Then we have the Dirty Martini palette. So I actually tried this out in 22. This collection released late in 21, but I got it in 22 when it went on sale, and I really enjoyed the palette and the formula. So really pretty. This is the Dirty Martini. And then we have Chocolate Martini, really pretty neutrals, kind of rosy browns. So I really like this one. I feel like the shimmers, they're pretty good in this one, but they're nowhere compared to the Scooby-Doo collection. They have updated their shimmers. The shimmers in here are phenomenal, and so are the mattes. All right, so we're going to take these palettes right here. These palettes, and I have a couple more. These are like the palettes that I just have like one of, okay? So the first up would be St. Angel Sinners, and this is a collaboration with Smith Briande. It was the Follow Your Dreams. Absolutely love this palette. She's Going Nowhere. Really wonderful, beautiful quality. She did an amazing job on this color story. I have one little Tom Ford quad. This is the Photosynthesis quad. It's really pretty, and I am going to keep it. I have played with it a couple times, and I do want to keep it in my collection. I do want to add a little bit more Tom Ford to my collection, but you know, sometimes everything just looks alike, and you know, when something hits me, I'll just add something on. But I got this like on sale, I think at the CCO or something like that. Then I have Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture, okay? What do we want to do with this? I mean, she's cute, but I could live without her. Okay. I have a Lethal Cosmetics palette right here. The Lethal palette, let's see. This is, I really need to use this more. This color story is gorgeous. This is the Velvet Dust. And it has a lot of kind of grungy. I'm going to keep this around, and I'm going to play with it more, yes, because I really like this color. And the looks I've made with it have always been nice, but I've only used it like maybe once or twice. Maybe 3. So I'm going to keep this one. This one is my It's Freaking Bats palette. She's Going Nowhere. This is Butte Bean and Shroud or Betty Jean. And gorgeous. I know some people feel like they got a dud. I have a good palette. I'm glad because Lord knows I waited long enough to get this palette. I was like in the first batch of pre-orders that took like a year and a half. But I love this color story of this palette, so I definitely will be keeping it. I have a palette by Notoriously Morbid. It was my first time trying the brand last year in 22. And I don't think I really have to try too much. I am going to keep this palette around because I really like this little multi-chrome or sparkly shade. These two shades are not too bad. They're very flaky though. So you definitely need a little glitter glue. The mattes for me were just kind of subpar. So yeah. Then I have my Electrum Cosmetics, the Sea Witch palette. She's Going Nowhere. I just got this. I just did a video. I got it like the week of Christmas. It came in a pre-order, but look at these beautiful, beautiful multi-chromes. Do you see the shift? And this is a holographic shade, so everything in here is a multi-chrome. Oh, I am starting to notice that some right here and right here, we're starting to get a little oil leak out of the pans, but nothing is wrong with that. It's just oil. So, yep. Then we have the Sigma Untamed palette. And it's really cute. It's grungy, but I haven't used it in forever. I never think about it, so I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Yeah. But the palette itself was nice. The quality was nice. Alright, another stack of palettes. So this one is a What's Up Beauty palette. This is the Monsoon palette. This palette was actually gifted to me by the brand. And they gave me some brushes. The brushes were really great. The quality of this palette was actually really great too. So I'm going to keep this around because I want to play with it more. And then I have two of my Viseart palettes. I just have two Viseart palettes. This is the Dark Edit. Love it. It's so fabulous. This is like the little plastic cover over it. So I took that off. Really gorgeous palette. So of course it's the Dark Edit. And then right here I have the Big Sister, which is the Dark Mattes. Love, love, love. As you can see, I've dipped in and gotten quite a bit of use. I'm kind of light with my palette, so if you guys don't notice that, I'm not heavy-handed in my palette. So if it doesn't really look like I've used it, just know I've used it. Because like I said, I don't dig in or anything like that. I just kind of gently go in my palettes. But love this. I pair this all the time with a lot of my shimmer shades. So like you saw, like the It's Belle palettes, I'll definitely pull this out. I take this with me traveling a lot. So I'll usually do like a number like this for traveling. Like I could do something like this for traveling and I'll have like a lot of different options, you know, because I have like a lot of different shimmers. I got neutral shimmers, I got colorful shimmers, and then I have a couple colorful like deeper mattes, browns, oranges, plums, grungy. It's like, it just works. All right, I got my Matte Cosmetics palette. This is the Feast Your Eyes palette. It came out, this actually came out, not last year, but I haven't had a chance to play with this in a while. I'm going to keep her around. Really gorgeous, really pretty. Now, this palette is special to me. This is my first palette that I ever got in PR. This is with Amy Hart's Beauty times Amy Loves Makeup. Amy sent this to me. This is one of her first collab. But the brand didn't do her right, but it was really gorgeous, really pretty. You had a lot of iridescent shades, and you know Amy loves to put like an iridescent shade in the corner for sure. So really pretty. And then I have my Danessa Myricks. This is my Lightwork Volume 3 palette. She's Going Nowhere. Beautiful, beautiful multi-chromes. I really like the one that she came out with this year, but I couldn't bring myself to buy it because I had most of those shades. But, oh, this shade, this one. The cream shades are nice, but they don't have the dark longevity, but yeah. All right, we got more palettes. We got a Makeup Mario Quad. Let's see. This is Rosy Glam. I think this came out in, did it come out in 2020 or 21? It's really cute. I'm gonna keep it because you know, other than my Pat McGrath, I really don't have a whole lot of quads. Let me keep it, and I want to get some more use out of it. Then I have two palettes by Le Lip Bois. So this is a quad. This is actually really pretty. Lays on the nice, really nicely. So I will be keeping this. I picked this up from Target. This one is the After Party eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep that. And then we actually have like a face palette slash eyeshadow quad. And this is with Justine Skye. It was a collab they had. Really pretty. I'm going to keep it. Then we also have 3 palettes from Nabla. So these are the Cutie palettes. And let's see. Okay, because honestly, I have not touched these things if I'm going to be perfectly honest. So this one is the Metropolitan. And it looks like this. Really beautiful color stories. Formula's not bad, but I'm ready to let this go. And then we also have the Wild Berry. The Wild Berry is really pretty. So, I don't know. I think I can do without this one. I don't know. Botanic juice is kind of getting me. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep this one. And this one's probably my most used one. And then we have Platinum. And she looks like this. And I can get rid of the Platinum one. And then this running right here, this is actually my school mascot where I went to college, Florida A&M University, and somebody put out a palette, so she's going nowhere. So look at it, it's so dope. And then look, like inside of it, it's just like our colors are orange and green, of course. So you have like things like Lee Hall, Young Hall, Gibbs Hall, Truth Hall, Bragg Memorial Stadium, Coleman Library, Benjamin L. Perry, Sampson Hall, Tucker Hall, the Orange Room. So it's just fun. It's going nowhere. And I love it. It's school spirit. This is literally my school's mannequin. Love it. All right, next we're going to go ahead and jump into some Colored Raine. So these 2 little palettes, I think I can go ahead and get rid of. This came out like at the end of 21 into 22, the Botanical Collection. The quality was just not that Colored Raine collection or Colored Raine formula that we're used to. So I'm okay on this. So you'll let that go. And then we have Rose Garden here. And same thing. So, and I tried to use them again. It was just okay. Now we have the Colored Raine times Power. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Very blurply. I will be keeping this. Let's see. Do I want to swatch? I'm not swatching anything. Do I? Oh man, it's still very creamy. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't want to swatch anything because I've been swatching stuff all day, but all right. So next up, we got the Colored Raine. We got the Safari Raine palette. It was limited edition. They did just bring it back for one more round, but I think it's been some issues. I'm definitely going to keep this palette. Love this palette. And then we have the OG. This is the Queen of Hearts. Yes, like this palette like broke the internet for real. So this is what it looks like. OG palette. You know, these shades were like everything back then. So I'm going to keep this around. That was like the warm tone berry era of like 2016, 2017. Like this was supposed to be limited edition, but like it just had a chokehold on the beauty community. So look at the reflection. Like definitely could not. They had to just like make it permanent. All right, next up we have my palettes by Kaleidos. So I have some of their original ones where they have like the sci-fi, the futurism palettes. And this is the sci-fi green. And I think I'm ready to let this go. It's cute. It served the moment. These 2 shades look different. This one kind of looks like Heart Pan. These 2, they always read the same on my eyes. So I think I can let this one go. And then we have Astro Pink. Astro Pink is gorgeous. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep Astro Pink. But they always had a habit of putting kind of colors that were kind of very close to each other in the palette. I don't get that. And look at the packaging bomb, okay? Let's see. We got Lunar Lavender right here, and then this one is Shasumi City. Shasumi City has some pretty colors in it as well. Really pretty neutral palette. I think I'm going to keep this one this shade, and this shade is gorgeous. But as you can see, well, at least this one is darker. But you see how this one is kind of like, why do we do that? They look the same, especially in a 6-pan. Let's see, we got Lunar Lavender. And here she goes. I think I can live without Lunar Lavender. So I'm going to let Lunar Lavender go. And then we have Flower Punk. Really innovative. I really enjoy this palette. Look at it. I just love how it's magnetic. You can take this apart. You can attach it. Like, so cool. So I will be keeping this palette. This is also a birthday gift from my friends Yadi and Kara. They got me the whole thing with the dresser and everything, and the lip clays. The lip clays are bomb by Kaleidos. Like, I'm really looking forward to them like putting out a palette this year. I know they did quads, but the quads, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling them. And then this baby is going nowhere. This is Club Nebula. This is a collab with Angie. And it is such a beautiful palette. And this little, those little mattes have just beautiful. So I'll definitely be keeping this. Did I even get a chance to use this in 22? Oh, I don't know. I got to use this for real. All right, we are moving right along. We got Miss Huda Beauty. So let's see. We got nude. We got the rich. This nude palette is actually really pretty. Actually pretty good quality for these little palettes. We got Khaki Haze. It's a nice color story, but the performance is just So we're going to let Khaki Haze go. This one, I feel like I should let it go. Empower palette. Oh, I just don't really care for it. It's supposed to be amazing, but it's just not. I don't know. She's going to go into maybe. I might just find it like a home. Then we got Mercury. Who knows what to say? Mercury Retrograde. And it just doesn't really pull that deep for me. So I'm going to let her go. Because, I mean, like, these shades and stuff like that are pretty, but the mattes, it's only like 2 deeper mattes that I enjoy on my skin complexion. But all these shimmer, I have so many shimmer palettes and stuff. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I got Naughty Nudes. Naughty Nudes isn't going anywhere. So these are the 2 Huda palettes I'm rolling with. Wow. And then Empowered is still very questionable because only like 1 shimmer really in here. Wow. These are the 2 I'm keeping, and they look very similar, but it's fine. These work on my skin complexion. So yeah. All right, this little stack going nowhere. This is my Blends Bunny stack. This palette was just gifted to me. I just filmed this, so hopefully this video can go up tomorrow if I can wrap this up and get to editing. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at it. Then we have the Doll House. She gifted this one to me as well. Just these 2 were gifted. Everything else I've bought myself. Love this palette. I've used this palette so much. It came out at the end of 21, but it was really like a 22 release kind of. And then right when I got the palette at the end of 21, I had COVID and I was sick all the way until like basically right now of this time last year. So ain't got good. Not the reality this time. So used this so much last year. Love it. And then we have Surge. Surge is the one that made me fall in love with the brand. Love this palette still. We have Primal. Primal, I do like Primal, but it's not like my favorite. Oh, I hit the camera. Not my favorite, but I do really like it. And this, color is amazing. We got the OG, the blends. Yes. And then we have one of the newer. I really like this one as well. The All Done Up. I've been really dipping into this palette as well, as you can see. So, yes. This, oh my gosh, so good. I love this palette so much. All right, we got good old Melt Cosmetics. So first we got Immortan Mariposas. This palette, I don't know. It's like, it's beautiful, but then it's like at the same time, it's like, but I'm definitely going to keep it. But, you know, I think this collection definitely didn't do as well as they intended, and they definitely was like, no holiday this year, which kind of made me sad. I don't know. So then I have Vita and Morte. I was lucky enough to snag it back in the day because I know they did re-release Morte. And here's Vita. Now in Vita, I really do enjoy this little subset of mattes. Oh my gosh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sorry, the green and the yellow, but these little three are very unique, very different. Really enjoy it. And then we also have Muerte. Muerte is beautiful as well. This one, these different burgundies, really pretty as well. Okay, so this little boy right here, the Gemini, if you saw my how many in 2022 video, you already know. All right, so I have one palette here by Melt Cosmetics. This is the Gemini 2 palette, and it's a beautiful, well, I be damn. There is mold. What the look at this. I don't know if this is something from me, but look at that. What the I just used this palette like in October and it was fine. Was this because I used the mixing medium? So freaking confused. Is that mold or is it? It looks like a mold almost. Or is it because I used the Mayron mixing medium? Because it's only on the 2 shimmer shadows, so it's definitely here, and this was the shadow I used. It was in a palette rotation. I haven't even edited that palette rotation yet, actually. And then it's a few specks here. So this is my old Gemini palette, Gemini 2 palette. Although it just came out in April of 22, so it ain't that old. And it has, but now it's not even hard to see. Like, I can't even really see it anymore. That's crazy. I'm still not using it. It had mold in it, guys. Like, this shade right here was just, like, all molded up. So, apparently, they say it's not mold. They say that it's some type of wax that they use, and it had a low melting point, blah, 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 blah. Okay? It was giving mold, okay? And it's funny because now I'm like, I can't even see it. But the time I opened the palette to do the video, it was like so evident. This whole smooth shade. I'm going to have to pull it out or insert the clip so you can see it. Because it was just literally like a week and a half ago when I filmed it. But now you can't see it. And I don't think I put my finger in it. But anywho, I contacted the brand, sent them pictures of it. And they were like, it's not mold. And they sent me a brand new one. And I did open it. Let's see. So here's my new Gemini 2. And this is what it looks like. So you can see this one's not used. But, yeah. It's a pretty color story. So I don't know what's going on with that palette. But it looked crazy. It looked like nothing I want to put in my eyes for sure. Next up, we have Mary Jane. The packaging is always great when it comes to Melt. But these, ooh, this shade and this shade are some flaky, flaky shades. But I'm going to keep it. We got the Blueprint by Melt. Really pretty shades as well. I was trying to figure out what was going on with this, but looks like the shadow just got nicked. And I don't feel like messing up my fingers. So I'm going to kind of keep moving. So pretty. I'm going to keep that around. Oh, we have the Rust palette. This is really beautiful. I'm definitely going to keep this one around. Going to try to get more use out of these. She's in Parties is beautiful. Here she is right here. And then we have the Waiting Room. This is part of the Beetlejuice. I really enjoyed this collection. Here we go. As you can see, I did use it quite a bit. These gray mattes, those burgundies, reds. Then we have Recently Deceased. This is part 2 of the Beetlejuice. Now this roll looks very, very similar, but I did enjoy this palette a lot also as well. And then apparently I have a Smoke Sessions palette that I've never used, so we can just add that to my basket of shame. So at this point we're only at 2, so that's not too bad. And I think I actually had to get this palette a couple times because, yeah, maybe that's still why I haven't used it, because it's still shadow on the outside. I'm like, this shade. But I'm going to use this palette. I'm going to put it to use. That shade is definitely, yeah, we're going to put her to use. She's pretty. So I haven't used it. So, and I got this, not last year, but in 21. Okay, right here we got my Clarity Cosmetics. So we have the Evil Mermaid palette. Here she is. Really pretty color story. The only problem is some of the shades do read kind of the same, and I do really like the pan size. I know Clarity's supposed to be going to this pan size. And this year, the Croc palette, don't worry guys, if you didn't get your hands on it, she's coming back permanently. And this is going to be in a new size. So probably smaller pans, because baby, pans this big are just like, woo, intimidating. But this is gorgeous, 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 for sure. Next up, we have the Bloom palette. This palette, I don't know, I really like it, but I don't like it at the same time. Because a couple of the shades, the shimmers are just kind of a little hard to work with. But I'm going to keep her around. I'm going to keep her around. I think it's this shade right here that's making me stay. But I've really been enjoying Clarity this year. And this is another favorite, Apocalypse. This was a Halloween release. Gorgeous. Really pretty. Look at that color story. Look at this orange shade. Look at this one. Oh, so pretty. And then we have the Lily palette. Lily is gorgeous as well. Sometimes I'm like, why do I keep these sleeves? Look, do you see this musicron right here? Are you sure? Do you see it? Ooh, really pretty palette. Just really stunning. All right, so now we got all of my Alien palettes, Alien Cosmetics, or actually Unearthly Cosmetics. I think most of my stuff says Alien for the most part. All right, so we have their holiday release for 2020. This is what it looks like. Pretty color story, but I think I can part with this. Yeah, I can part with it. We have Fairy Frolic. This is one of the older packaging. They have redone it. I'm definitely going to keep this one. We have the Poison Apple one. Now it's called something else. It's called Poison Apple now. Back when I got it, was Serendipity palette. It's a pretty color story. So I'm going to keep this one as well. Then we have the Strawberry Shortcake. No, Strawberry Milkshake. So I can get rid of this one. Yeah, I can get rid of this one. And then we also have Not Normal. It's a beautiful color story, grungy, purpley. So I'm going to keep this one around. And I'm going to try to get more use out of this one. We'll see how I land. Then we have All I Ever Wanted. This is volume 2. I really like this color story. This one's flaky. This one is really pretty. All of this is pretty. So I enjoy these, and I do try to pull this out from time to time. So that's why I felt comfortable getting rid of the Mercury Retrograde, because I have a lot of shimmer palettes, as you'll see coming up. And then this is All I Ever Wanted. First volume. So yeah, definitely keeping this one. And then this is the low light. So this is technically a highlighter palette. So I'm going to keep this one. And then we have the bunnies. And I've only used this once, but when I used it, it was a beautiful look. So I'm going to keep it around. These shimmers are like A1. All right, next up we have my ABH stack. So first up we got Subculture. This is one I rebought it when they reformulated it because I had gotten rid of my first one. I'm going to keep this. We got the Jackie Aina palette. Yes, we are going to keep her because she is good. We have Norvina. Norvina has some banging shimmers. I haven't used it in a long time, but it has some, these shimmers are nice. What do I want that? Okay, she's living. And then I feel like because the other ones live, Soft Glam. Does Soft Glam have to live? I don't know. Does it? Soft Glam to live. Because like this part, yeah, I'll let it live. Alright, I got my Glam and Matrix palette. So these aren't going anywhere. I really enjoy Glam and Matrix a lot. First up, we got the Silent Night palette. And there's some beautiful shades in here and some beautiful multi-chromes like baubles. Oh my gosh, just really amazing. We have the Nocturnal palette. Grungy goodness at its best. Really love this palette. Going nowhere. Glamorous palette right here. Oh my gosh, the mattes in this palette are so good. This palette's not going anywhere. Next up, we got Sandra Rose. She's gorgeous as well. She brought this back recently. Apparently, I dipped my finger in the posy. I don't remember that, but that's what's happening. Bloom is super pretty as well. Really pretty looks with this palette. Really fun for the summer and the spring. And it can go into the fall. Oh man, Huda Beauty is a banger. Oh, look at this. And this shade right here, Good Day, is amazing. But this matte, Old Mate, it's a really super solid, pretty palette. And this palette right here, Nearly Neutral. It says Nearly Natural, but I like to call it Nearly Neutral because I swear. I feel like they said this has been their biggest selling palette to date, but I can understand why. Like, it is just a better version of the Naked 3 palette that I'm just keeping around for nostalgia purposes. But look at this. All right, so let's get into Juvia's place, okay? This is the Rebel Quad. I have never used this. I'm going to cut. I mean, it has greens and gray. I need to use this. I'm going to keep her around. Like, I got to use this. And then I have the Rebel of the Grays. This one can go. This one can go. The Berries. Oh, the berries are beautiful. That shade is gorgeous. It's this shade for me. Eek. What do I want to do? I don't know. Okay, we got the berries. And so we got the mauves. Okay, these would be good together. So I'm going to keep these two. Now, Nubian Glow, I think she can go. Nubian Glow can go. Yeah. Now we got the Nomad. Really nice color story. Grungy, earthy. I'm going to keep it around. We got Nubian 3. This is the Coral palette. Really pretty. I've had a lot of fun with this, but I think I'm ready for this one. This one can go. I'm doing kind of good with my declutter, so I'm kind of proud of myself. Like, some of these palettes I'm picking up, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not. The Saharan, one of my favorites by Juvia's Place. Look at these shades. I'm going to keep her around. The Tribe is going nowhere. They finally brought this back. Like, oh my God, it only took them 20 billion years. But I'm going to keep this. I haven't used it in a long time, but I'm going to keep this. And then I have the Wahala palettes right here. And this is the first one. Pretty. The pressed glitters are like, oh, help. But it is pretty. But then we got Wahala 2. I really like Wahala 2 in 2020. I don't know. The Wahalas, I think, they got a multi-chrome in here. But it's a multi-chrome that we've like seen in like all of the... and now I got my Blends Bunnies. And it's Juvia's is black on. We know I love Juvia's place. But I think some of them I've just kind of outgrown. So I think this one I'm okay. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the maybe. I don't know if I'm okay with it, but I haven't used it at all. I'd rather keep the Wahala 1, even though, but I only really like this part of the palette over, because these pressed glitters. Okay, I'm gonna put both of these in the maybe. Both of those go in the maybe with the Huda palette. That I just don't like the Huda palette, but I feel like I don't know. All right, ColourPop. So first up, we got the Smoke Show. I will keep this one. I really like the Smoke Show palette. It's great, blacks, grays. Can't go wrong with it. I'm going to keep this palette. All right, so now we have the Baroque palette. So the Baroque palette I really, really enjoy, so I'm not going to declutter this one. It's really nice, cool tones, different tones, and I definitely want to get some more use out of this particular palette. Okay, Grandeur. This one I can live without. It's pretty, but nice browns and stuff like that, but I can do without this one. We have It's My Pleasure. This is a purple one, and I feel like it was this shade that's always been my favorite, Mr. Sandman, but I think I can get rid of this one as well. I feel like most of my ColourPops, like, I don't think I've touched any of my ColourPop palettes this year. Like, literally. Have not touched them. So, we have Wild Child. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one as well. Because like I said, I have not touched them. Just My Luck. Okay. I have enough green palettes, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one as well. All right, we got Lush. It's so crazy just to kind of see what you outgrow. Lush, I think I will keep Lush around, though. We have Rendezvous. Now, this one, every time I look at them, oh my God, same thing happening right now. Can't get rid of it. Rendezvous and Saval. I just can't. It's something with it. Like, what is wrong with me? Every time I come up on these two palettes, I'm like, they're basically like almost the same. Like, I can't ever get rid of them. It's really crazy. And I still don't think I can get rid of them. I really thought I was going to be able to get rid of them this year. I can't. Those two palettes really have a chokehold on me. Good Sport definitely has a chokehold on me. They should have really released this one again. You see, I really used this one, but I think I can let this one go. And then we have the Whatever palette. So it does have a pressed glitter in it. Some really fun rosy tones, but I think I can let this one go as well. All right, so wow, my ColourPop stack is literally, look, these two, it's sad. Like, really? And I never use them. Like, when I say never, I mean, like, I've used them when I first got them, but I haven't used them in like a couple years. But they keep making it through declutters. I need to use these immediately. Like, it doesn't even make any type of sense. All right, but we're down to this. So that's not too bad because, like I said, those other ones I just wasn't using. And before, like this one, that is my pleasure. Some of these other shades, just the shimmers really got me because they were more unique. But now with all these indie brands that I've gotten into and all the shimmer palettes I have, it's just not necessary. And the other shimmer palettes are way better formula. And, you know, ColourPop has been kind of ugh these past couple years. So it's, you know. All right. So we got my Nomad palettes. If all goes well with me getting this video up, I should be in Iceland when you see this video. I am going to Iceland the last week of January, technically like the first week of February. Really beautiful. I am not going to get rid of this. This is Berlin Underground. I think I can't get rid of Berlin. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. And then we have America's Parks. America's Parks is really pretty, so I'm going to keep that one. I'm happy about this. Next up, we have a little sugar drizzle here. So we got Trick or Treat. This is so cute. I just wore this palette literally like Thursday. Yeah, so cute. And then we have, this is Pizza Kitty with all those fun little different types of shades in there. Pew Pew, that's my shade, so I'm going to keep that. And then we also have the Milk palette. This is the Man I Love Frogs. Really pretty shades in this one. I'm going to keep this one. See, like that's why I don't need, you know, some of those other shades, just for shimmers. All right, we got BH Cosmetics. We got Avocado Toast first up. Oh, wait, we're having a little, okay. We got Avocado Toast. So, here we go. I think I can get rid of Avocado Toast. She's not doing anything special for me anymore. Now we got Blueberry Muffin. I don't think she's doing anything for me either. So there we go. Now we got Pistachio. I'm going to keep that one. And we have Cherry on Top. Cherry on Top is super fun, really beautiful. And we have the Bubble Gum. Really pretty shades in there as well. And Orange Sorbet. Ooh, Orange Sorbet is really cute. Oh, yep, gonna keep these. All right, we got my Adept Cosmetics. You know, these are not going anywhere. And I did order the new Adept palettes. And got the mystery box, House of L. Oh my gosh, this is just a stunning palette. These shimmers are just beautiful. Do you see this multi-chrome right here? Yes. We have Kodan. Really pretty as well, nice and grungy. We got a little Minka. Very much giving holiday vibes. I really enjoy this palette too. But this one definitely has more texture in it. Ninhydrin. Really pretty as well. I just did like a collaboration look with this palette and oh, was it? No, not this one, but the other two are coming up. We got Plain Jane Remastered. I just used this one too, like last week. I went in specifically for this shade, or I opened it up and I was like, oh, let me use this shade today. And then we have Amulet New. I have the older one. This is the dark one, so you know, mine's been loved. It came kind of broken, but I love my shade, Seth. This is the dark version because it has that navy blue in there. And then we have the Heather Austin palette. Really beautiful. She gifted me this palette. Love it so. Whew, okay, we got Glam Shop. So Glam Shop is a Polish indie brand that I fell in love with. Definitely keeping my Turbina palette. Like, these shades are so freaking special when it comes to these shimmer shades. Now we have this caramel palette. This one I think I can get rid of. It's pretty, but it's just not doing anything for me. So I can get rid of this one. And I've barely even used this one. We have, this one was kind of controversial, but it's really pretty because of the print and the design on it. But fabulous shades on the inside. So I'm going to keep that in their neutral shades. All right, we got Laguna. So their shimmer shades are like just excellent, excellent shades. The mattes are kind of, the mattes are just okay. We have this bad boy I can't pronounce. It's a purple one, really pretty. This one has a hollow shade in it in the middle. Really gorgeous. You can see that's why I kind of didn't need the ColourPop ones, because I have like a lot of monochromatic palettes on this end. This one is Z-Lone. This is a new one because my other one broke. These Glam Shop palettes are kind of fragile, so you have to be careful. But, whew, yes. Really pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this Camo Glam palette. As you can see, I've been having fun with it. Okay, and now we have this one. This was like for spring release. This one I can get rid of. This one I didn't care for as much. So I can get rid of this one. Oh my gosh, Paprika. Paprika is just amazing. Those tones are just so beautifully gorgeous. I will be keeping this one. And now we have Selden. This one, the mattes are, they're a little light, but it has some gorgeous shades. Like this shade I enjoy. I enjoy the yellow. I like that mustard shade. So I am going to keep this one. We are at the last two stacks. So we got two brands left. We got Miss Natasha and Mama Pat left. So let's get into it, okay? Natasha, I might declutter one, and I'll let you know why in a moment. But we have the cranberry palette. I was like, did I just stick my, but I didn't mess it up. I did stick my hand in. So this is the cranberry palette. This is my only 5-pan palette by her. We have the Love palette. So here she is. Really pretty colors. We have Retro. Retro is one of my favorites. So that is the Retro palette. This shade right here, as you can see. Love it. I'm like, you see how, I'm like, does it still pick up? This is a cream shade. I'm like, does it? Okay. You know, sometimes you just never know with her. I mean, that's the only thing with these shades. It's like, okay, it picks up, but that's that shade Rebellion. I think it's like a creamy matte formula. But other than that, I really love this palette. So, yeah, that's just, like, Okay, so this is the one I'll probably declutter. This is the Zendo palette. I just don't care for this palette. I just don't. So it doesn't even hurt me. I'm like, Okay, we have the Glam Face palette. I do kind of reach into this a lot just to kind of like steal these couple browns, you know, sometimes. So I'll keep this. We have the Bronze palette. Here she goes, really pretty. We have Trio Chrome. I really like this palette. This palette is a lot of fun. And these pastels actually look good on me. We have the Gold palette. I think this is my first Natasha Denona palette. So, gorgeous color scheme. Definitely need to use it more. And we have, this is what the Purple Blue palette. Really pretty colors in here. And I have dipped in a little bit. It took me longer than it should have to use this palette, but I have dipped in. And I really enjoy this. I got this on a sale. So I got this like 50 or 60% off when she runs those big holiday sales. We have, this is the Sunrise palette. And this is like her first midi palette. So here we go. I hope she comes out with some good stuff this year because I feel like she's been slacking this year. Did I even buy any palettes really from her this year? This, and when I say this year, I mean in 22. I don't think so. We have the Glam. Absolutely love the Glam palette. I actually just used this on my friend the other day. I just used this yesterday, actually, to do her makeup, and it was really, really pretty. She was having some professional photos taken for, you know, to get for a job to put attached to her resume on her LinkedIn page, and it was gorgeous. And she's not usually a cool tone person, but I was like, you know, they photographed really well, and we kind of did more warm tones because she has really curly hair. So we did one picture with curly. She did one with curly hair, and then she did one with her hair blown straight. And so this one she was wearing black. So we did the cool tones, and I kind of convinced her, and she ended up really loving it. So she was really pleased. She was like, "I never wear colors like this." I'm like, "I know." Oh, I did buy Natasha palette this year. This one. Okay, we got the Circo Loco. So really bright, but fun color story. I like this shade, this shade. I like some of the shades in here. You know, I did have fun with this one. Okay, we got good old Metropolis, going nowhere. I definitely need to use this one more too. We have Leela. I've used this recently. I used it this fall, so I'm glad. I have gotten some use out of it lately. And then we have the My Dream palette. I was very indifferent about this palette, but I did use this in the past 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I had a good look. I was happy with it. It worked out, so she'll live, you know? I'm not as mad anymore. Like, I still don't know sometimes how I feel about it, but it's not bad, but I definitely don't like the Huda. But this one, like I said, I used it in the past 2 weeks, and I enjoyed the look. We got one more brand left, and as you know, I'm a big Pat McGrath fan, so we will not be decluttering any of these palettes. All right, so I figure we start with the quads first. So I don't have every Pat McGrath palette. I think at this point, I don't have about maybe 4 or 5 of them. And the ones of, there's more holiday releases that I don't have, a couple of the holiday releases. I have all the motherships. And yeah, so let's just get into it. We got the Venus and Flores Luxe Quad. This one is stunning. This one is also re-promoted if you didn't get your hands on it before. This one is the Lunar New Year that is out right now. Really stunning. I also love this brown shade. It has kind of like a hint of purple in it. All right, this one right here is Interstellar Icon. I wasn't as thrilled with this outside packaging as I was with the others. This one got really big and bulky. Not sure what happened here, but this is Interstellar Icon. Really nice quad. And now we have up Deep Space Divinity. This one was a holiday quad as well. I'm like, can I get it open? Now this is packaging I don't want to tear up. So this is Deep Space Divinity right here. It's a really nice quad as well. But I wish she would stop putting these like close to shades, like champagne and a little darker gold. Like, stop it. We don't need that in the quad, okay? This one was one of her first Eye Ecstasy kits, and it's a little mini eyeshadow palette. I wouldn't mind if she did a little something like this again, because you got 6 really great shades. You got some decent packaging outside of that little plastic packaging that she had sometimes with those shades that were in Decadence. And this was like the first time we ever had a mauve shade. We never had these 2 shades prior to this palette. And, you know, as of now, it's like, that is like a chokehold on her, okay? Then we have Eternal Eden. I do not like this quad at all, but you're like, well, it's really used. That's because I use it as a face palette, and I have been using this as a face palette prior to her giving us blush. Like, I would use this and get this as a blush, And sometimes I use this like as a little highlight situation, and it works. So I've been getting a lot of use out of it. So that's why I will keep it, even though like I don't like it as eyeshadow. Okay, so now we have Iconic Illumination. I'm confused. I thought one of the new palettes that's coming out is one of the new motherships is coming out. It's called Iconic Illumination. Is it? Isn't it? Hold on. Oh, okay. It's Iconic Infatuation. It's just too much. Okay, it's really too much. But this is one of the OG quads. Okay, one of the first quads. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And this right here is like some of the plastic, but oh my gosh, this shade, the whole setup, it's just so beautiful. Now we also have, this is Ritualistic Rose, one of the OG quads as well. This was from the holiday 2019 as well. Beautiful quad. Just a beautiful quad as well. First time we had Rose, okay? First time we had Rose. All right, and next up we got Nocturnal. Next up we have Nocturnal Nirvana, okay? And this was an OG quad as well. Beautiful bold colors. This is like the first time we ever got some color. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. Can't believe it. Okay, and out of this little batch, if I don't break it, we have the Star Wars. Okay, so first we got Divine Droid, and somebody said it looked like Easter, and I can't unsee it now. But it is pretty with the colors, so I'm not complaining. That's from the Star Wars Round 2. This is also from Star Wars Round 2. This is Sith Seduction. This formula in this particular palette is just sickening. It's so good. Okay, we'll jump in next with these three by Pat McGrath. We have these are the Mothership Megas that she started coming out with in 2020. So let's take the first one. This is the first one. This is Celestial Divinity. And here we go. Really pretty. These 6 shades in the middle are new. This one was a palette from Star Wars, and this one was a palette from Star Wars as well. The first Star Wars collab. Love it. Then we have the second one. This is Celestial Odyssey right here. And beautiful, beautiful shades. And some nice, more colorful shimmers in this one. Really pretty as well. And then we have the one from Holiday 22. And this is Celestial Nirvana, I want to say. Yes, Celestial Nirvana. It's a lot to keep up with. And this is the first time she ever gave us some colorful mattes. We have never had a green matte, never had a blue matte. We've had plum mattes, but not just straight up purple mattes. And then, of course, we've had kind of more bricky reds and what's in it. So the mattes in here are really great. I feel like the most solid part of the palette is this 6-pan. So really, really pretty. I enjoy this, and I especially enjoy mixing and matching my palettes, and I have a couple of videos where I mash this palette up with these Mothership Megas right there. I also do it with Mothership 10 and Mothership 3, Utopian Dream, which is Mothership 9, Mothership 5. Yeah, so I have a lot of fun with this. Okay, we are almost there. First up. So, well, let's see. Let's do it like this. Okay. These 3 right here. These are the OG 6-pans, okay? So first up we have Bronze Ambition. Gorgeous. Here it is without the plastic covering. Really pretty. Just solid. I mean, just super solid palette. We have La Vie en Rose. And when we got this, I want to say this came out in 2018, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's vibrant. This was like our first peak of color other than like Mothership 3, you know, our first peak of mauves and stuff. This one is technically, I want to say, a matte, so we did kind of have a purple matte. Okay, so then I had it kind of mistaken. We kind of had a little mauve tone in here prior to this one, but this one is more pink that's in here versus here. So if you look at it, because we got this, yeah, see how this is more, a little bit more rose compared to that one's more, a little bit more lavender. So, all right, and last up out of the OGs was the Platinum Bronze palette. Go. Really pretty, cool tone shades. It's a really solid palette as well. I've used this a couple of times. This one I got much later in the game because at first I was like, I don't want it. It's cool tone. And then after a while, I was like, I want it. So I found it brand new on Mercari because it was on sale for $25 and I still didn't even want it. And then after it was gone, I was like, oh, well, now I want it. Then we have 2 6 pans from Star Wars. This is the first Star Wars collab. We have Galactic Gold. So that's what you can see when I was talking about with the Mothership Mega. And then this one we have Dark Galaxy. Just really pretty shades. And as you can see, I've used both of these kind of thoroughly, but now I just kind of switched over to the Mothership Mega because these shades are in there. All right, so these two are from a holiday release. This is Holiday 2018. I didn't get the third one that came with this because it had a lot of repeat shades from Decadence, but at that time, Mothership 4 was not available. So this one we have Bronze Temptation. So, oh my gosh, love this palette. I just love it. I use it quite often, as you can see. All right, so here I am refilming stuff again because I didn't realize the recording stopped because I had been recording for so long. So this one right here is also part of that holiday collection. This is Dark Star. This one is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you have like this gray matte. I can't get the thing out. This black is like a velvet black. You have this deep shade of blue. This gold is really pretty. The champagne is pretty. This gray matte. Oh, so gorgeous. Just really pretty. Then we have the Lunar New Year release. This is from Lunar New Year of 2020. Yes, right before we knew COVID was coming to get us. Okay, so this is Golden Opulence. And the packaging, oh my gosh, you're talking about gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So, really pretty palette. You can get some nice subdued looks, you know. Just, you know, everyday looks, you know. I feel like the packaging is definitely bolder than the palette itself. Alright, now we have our Bridgerton collab. So honestly, if I was to declutter anything from my McGrath collection, it'd probably be these two palettes. I mean, you can get some nice looks out of them, but for me, it's just like, they're just okay. Like, I think I've only used this palette one time, and it's the time I filmed with it, to be honest. This one I have used a couple of times. This is the Belle the Ball. It has that beautiful green, and it does have this shade in there. This one has more of it. But I'm like, I have this shade in Mothership 3, and you'll see it in a moment. So these are the Bridgerton palettes. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. I know, like, Bridgerton is probably going to be coming back soon with a season 3, but Mama, you do not have to do a collab, okay? Save the coins for something else, a better collection. Now, we have the, this is Rose Decadence right here, and this came out, like, after Divine Rose 2. And this one's solid. You know, it has some nice shades in here, nice matte shades. We were kind of tired of this whole pink scheme at this point. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, so now we are going to go to the big Mothership land. Woo! You see, I use her. She is dusty. Good grief. She got a lot of fingerprints also. Whew, okay, time to hit the big boy Mothership stuff. I had to unbox everything because, you know, it would take too long to like unwrap all of these palettes. So first up, we have Mothership 1, and this is what the packaging looks like for Mothership 1, in case you need to remember. So just really beautiful. It's kind of like a solid sleeper, but oh my gosh. This blue, the whole palette, this gold, oh yeah, it's really pretty. All right, next up we got Mothership 2. Here we go. Really gorgeous as well. That like the thing about it is like even if you take the special shades out, like it's super solid 6-pan. The green is just amazing as well. Then we have Mothership 3. One of the most fun motherships. This is subversive. This is what the packaging looks like. Gigabyte. So you see what I mean by that other shade? So if we were to pull it out, they look basically exactly alike, you know? It's just that Gigabyte, the one on the bottom, might have a little bit darker base than this one. So it's like it's an exact dupe. All right, we got Mothership 4. I love this Mothership. It is so stunning, and these shades are just magic. These shimmer shades, they just work well in the crease. I mean, I wish you would do another Mothership in this format. Like, come on, give it to us. Mothership 5. This is the Mothership like got everybody paying attention to Mama Pat's brand for sure. This came out in 2018, and people were like getting on the Pat McGrath train when it came to this palette. Okay, we got Mothership 6, and a lot of people didn't like this palette when it came out. I've always liked this palette, and then you see this grunginess over here. Like, what was the issue? Like, I don't get it. This palette is gorgeous. So, all right, we got Divine Rose 1. Really pretty, simple, nice mauve tone palette. For sure, like one of my favorites of all time. Probably still in the top, definitely in the top 3. Probably still, might be still number 1. Is Mothership 8, Divine Rose 2. I love this because this is like my perfect neutral palette. But I don't know what I want to put on, but I know I want to put on some eyeshadow. I just pull this out because it works. All right, so this is Mothership 9, which is Utopian Dream. And I have a new appreciation for this palette. And then if you have this palette and you have the Mothership Mega from this year with those colorful mattes, oh my God, check out my video with the inspiration, like pairing the purple mattes with this shade and the pink. But even this is nice. I don't think we needed this and this. We could have just kept this and did something else here. And last but not least, we have Mothership 10, okay? So we got Mothership 10. I'm not mad at her. I've actually used her quite a bit. Holiday season. I've been dipping in. I mix it with my Mothership Mega. Put that green with this together, with that. Child, that is a look. I actually have that up on my channel as well. Yeah, I'm not mad at this palette at all. I've had a lot of fun with it. All right, so we have made it. We have made it. It is time for our final count. We have 3 palettes in the maybes, and I am moving them to the declutter. So I don't feel anything like I'm like, All right, all my palettes are sitting out. I don't even know how many palettes I have. I'm going to count that up really quick. But I can tell you one thing. I've been filming all day. All these palettes will be sitting out until tomorrow morning. And I'm actually going to be trying crazy enough to try to edit a video right now. But, yes, that is what we are working with. So I'll be right back with our totals. All right, I'm back. Got the totals. So, of course, these are the ones, well, not my motherships. It's just no room, guys, okay? Like, the whole kitchen is enthralled. And if you've never been here, yes, I'm filming in my kitchen. I had a pipe break in my bedroom where I normally film. I had a pipe break around Christmas, actually the day before Christmas Eve. And broke in the bathroom. That's the ensuite to my bedroom. And, yeah. Fun times, but I've been making it work. It's been all good, okay? So, like I said, I'll be putting all these palettes up tomorrow. So these are the palettes I'm decluttering. Move that back there. I'm decluttering 36 palettes, okay? So that's not too bad. I'm happy about what I'm decluttering, 36 palettes. And I'm keeping 174 palettes. And so total, that's 210 palettes. So that seems about average. I feel like I usually declutter around 30. I think as much, sometimes I had 45 or so, but usually about 30 something. Last year I brought in about, last year I think I brought in like half. Like, did I bring in like 36 palettes last year into my collection? Maybe so. Because, yeah. So we're getting better. So the biggest offender of my collection is Pat McGrath. Because it's like, it's 10 motherships, and then all the 6 pans, and the quads, and the mothership megas, and yeah, and then who else is a big offender in my collection? Natasha Denona, I had a lot of hers. Adept, Glam Shop, Melt, had quite a few Melt. Blends is starting to get up there. She keep releasing quite a few, Glam and Matrix. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I'm only keeping like a few, like the 3 Naked palettes, the 1, 2, and 3, and that Moon Dust palette, just for like nostalgia purposes. So I'm pretty much happy with that. So, all right, guys, please comment down below, give this video a big old thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. Subscribe to my channel because I know you would love to be in my little makeup family, and I would love to have you. And last but not least, this is like the chair dance, the standing up chair dance. It's time for the chair dance. Chair dance. 80, 80, 80, chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. But I'm really standing up. Chair dance. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'm tired. Like I said, I'm going to put this stuff up tomorrow. Bye. I was like, am I in first?